Eating is an essential part of life, and dining scenes have always been a staple of cinema since the dawn of time. In a great number of Western films, these scenes are often overlooked by the masses. But in Asian cinema, particularly nations with rich and diverse tradition of culinary culture, the scenes on the dining table are especially important since it carries a variety of meanings from real-life practices. Korea is a prime example of these countries with its rich cuisine. In this video, we will explore the art and knowledge involved in preparing and enjoying good food by analyzing the film mise-en-scène. Mise-en-scène, or to put on stage, is used in film studies as the discussion of visual styles. It consists of the contents and their organizations, which covers 5 elements: lighting, costumes, props, setting, and acting. Through how the contents are organized, not only the relationships of the characters and their interactions with the visual elements are encompassed, but so does the audience perception of the materials. This arrangement aims to direct the audience towards the underlying meaning that the film director invites them to see and feel. So now, let's take a look at the fundamentals of Korean cuisine and its meaning. In Korea, there's an idea called jagsik donggun, which means the food and the medicine has the same root. This concept of health has been formed through its history, influenced by Taoism and Chinese culture since 300 BC. According to Taoist philosophy and following the jagsik donggun idea, health is a state of balance in which the food selection is key. Therefore, the body is considered healthy only when yin-yang and 5 elements are at equilibrium. Yin-yang are the energetic qualities that create the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, corresponding to Korean traditional color spectrum, obangsik, that shapes the universe. This also corresponds with the taste: sour to wood, bitter to fire, sweet to earth, pungent to metal, and salty to water. The harmonizing concept of colors and food elements are displayed in every Korean culinary movie, showing how the culture considers both the taste and aesthetic appeals when preparing food. In the movie Final Recipe, a bibimbap dish is used to serve to the judge. Even though it is a very common dish, it has a deeper meaning behind it. The dish and its ingredients are accentuated by the mixing of the gochujang, which combines the dish together as one. The members in the movies also represent the individual ingredients, each with their own colors but could not work together. However, by cooking this dish, the team has become one, with the gochujang sauce being mixed and changed to best harmonize the individual's elements and standing out. Since we have talked about how it is made, what about how it is served? The presentation of the dishes has its roots with the nobles and upper class of the Joseon dynasty. The format of presentation, generally called sanjarimu, is based upon the number of dishes to be served with a different name from 3 to 12 separate dishes. During the Joseon dynasty, the social status of a household is determined by the number of dishes served at mealtime from a covered container called a chapu. 3 separate dishes was the norm for commoners, although wealthy commoners were permitted to serve up to 9 separate dishes. The serving of 10 dishes or more was reserved for the nobles, whilst the emperor's daily menu, called Surangsang, consists of 11 separate dishes. In the Masquerade movie, the economic and social status of the king is illustrated through the mise-en-scène of various daily activities, especially during his dining. The nobility of the king is delivered through the royal setting of the room, props, the dragon ropes, and the number of dishes, contrasting to the small number of dishes the maids have after they finish serving the kings. Not to mention, in the past, under the Confucianism influence, the older male figures gets to eat first, which is the king in this context. The woman will have to dine in a separate place after serving, hence the maid has to wait until the king finishes his meal to have theirs. For Koreans, the dining table is a great place to gather and share stories, so it becomes an ideal location for building and improving interpersonal relationships. As a matter of fact, Koreans do not feel comfortable when they are seen eating alone, so it is quite common for them to be accompanied when eating out. Actions like serving each other food or inviting other to eat together are great ways to express care and strengthen bonds. Therefore, the expression of affection between characters is also very prevalent in Korean cinema. Forest in 2018, directed by Kim Sung-rae, is one of the films that effectively demonstrate this aspect of Korean cinema. The storyline of the movie follows a young girl, Hyo-won, who is tired of the hustle and bustle of the city and decides to return to her hometown to live alone in her house that her mother left. The connection between characters in the movie is mainly demonstrated through meals. In one of the first scenes, while Hyo-won is still in the city, she eats a lunchbox by herself and immediately spits it out after her first bite. This isn't entirely because of the awful dish, but rather to the fact that she is too lonely and lacking in closeness, and this is even more evident if combined with the setting scene of her being in an empty and quiet room. In contrast, when Hee-won moved back to her hometown, although the food was simple and frugal, she still finds it delicious because it was made by her and her friends. The scene of the snowfall outside from the beginning contrasts with the warm atmosphere in Hee-won's small house, having further emphasized on the connection of people in each meal. The dining table is a symbol of friendship between the three individuals, as it makes them comfortable to freely chat and confide, so their relationship constantly improves with every meal. Not only friendship, meals also show family ties in the Little Forest movie. Hee-won's mother doesn't show up directly in the movie, but her appearance is depicted in Hee-won's memories. In her mind, the image of her mother is always associated with the meals and the dishes that her mother cooks. The scenes of mother and daughter always have bright, warm colors whilst cooking everyday dishes, conveying a strong, positive family bond. Even when the mother is not home anymore, family affection is still shown with the aunt cooking for Hye-won, and of course, a meal prepared by your loved ones is always the tastiest. Overall, a meal on the screen of the Korean cinema can express many meanings, from a remedy from ancient time to the social position as well as bonds between individuals.